like in the vortex? When you're in the vortex, what's it like? What does it feel like to be in the vortex? Do I feel ornery? Never. Do I feel whole? Yes. Do I feel satisfied? Always. Do I feel eager? Absolutely. Do I feel interested? Yes. Do I feel enlivened? Yes. Do I find humor? Yes. Do I feel worthy? Oh, yes. Do I feel fun? Do I feel full? Do good ideas flow to me? What do they feel like? Esther laid in her bed the other morning because they have a new children's book series coming, and Esther's been pondering it with Jerry, and they have this incredible working title they're so thrilled about. And Esther awakened and she thought, I think I'll just lie here for my 15 minutes and I'll just imagine the fun of that process. And so she just imagined the fun of the process, because she knows how good it feels when creativity flows through. And she just imagined the feeling of a good idea coming, even though she didn't have a good idea. She just imagined the feeling of a good idea coming, and all of a sudden a whole story downloaded into her head. And she got up and Jerry said, good morning, and Esther said, where's my computer? And she sat, and for the next hour she just wrote and 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 wrote, type. And then she read it to Jerry, and he said, that is the best story I have ever heard. I want all the children in all the world to hear the story. And Esther said, thank you very much. 15 minutes it took, 15 minutes of thinking about how good it is to be in the vortex. And when I got in there, the story was handed to me, because the story was already written by the children of the world who want to understand this stuff, by the parents of the world who want their children to understand this stuff, by people like all of you who want to understand and who want to find a way of communicating. In other words, it was all in there. All Esther had to do is get in there, and it's like going to a library and picking up a book. It's already written. You just got to get in the vortex. Your lover's in there waiting. You just got to get in the vortex. So now, tell us, what's it like in the vortex?
It's exciting. It's fun.
Now, this is good because you're describing how you feel. So make it even more personal. When I'm in the vortex, I feel...
When I'm in the vortex, I feel on top of the world. I feel like I'm really special.
All right, now take that even further. Talk about what on top of the world feeling feels like.
I feel whole. I feel connected to the world. I feel like I can feel my soul. I could feel that everything is right, and that everything is exactly whatever I asked for. It's right there. I feel elated. I feel centered. I feel grounded. I feel all-knowing.
What do you think? Those are really good words. Every one of these words, as you were speaking them, we were feeling you, and every one of these words was really meaningful to you, because grounded and centered might not mean anything to somebody who's not been striving for grounded and centered. But grounded and centered in true literal sense means I feel like the whole of me. I feel like the source within me. And you used all those words. So now you're there, you're in the vortex. Now that you're in there, what's a love relationship like when you're in the vortex? In other words, what's that relationship feel like? Use those words.
It feels...
We are having fun.
We're having fun. Someone is supporting me. I'm supporting them. We're growing together. I'm looking
All right, now you went out of the vortex because in the vortex there's no feeling of dependency. You just said, I feel grounded. I feel whole. Then you looked at your lover and you said, I need you.
Well, you know what? I feel like
you feel
that's my problem. Whenever I get, okay, I've had a few relationships, and when a man likes me...
Don't drag us all out of the vortex.
Oh, no, let me just...
Don't drag us... Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Let's get back in. Okay.
But did you feel that? Did you feel what we were talking about? In other words, when you were thinking about you and the vortex, you said, I feel whole. It's on tape. I feel centered. I feel good. And then when you turned your attention to your lover, you
lost myself.
You activated the old vibration of all the reasons that you think you need a lover. That's what's screwy about this. In other words, the thing that's keeping you from your lover is that you want to be whole, but your beliefs say, I need to be dependent in order to love her.
All right, exactly.
So what kind of a lover do you think you're looking for? What kind of a lover would be in there in vibrational alignment with your wholeness? It's someone whole. So when you bump into them in there, you're not going to look at each other and say, oh, I've come to save you and you've come to save me. You say, hey, isn't it great in here where we're all whole? Yes. We'll do some fun stuff together, but we won't depend on each other. When we're in the vortex, we're going to be living joyfully ever after, and sometimes we'll rendezvous with each other and we'll do really cool stuff, but neither one of us can be dependent upon the other, otherwise we can't be in the vortex.
Right. That's exactly right. I live in the vortex. I mean, I live in the vortex. I do, but when it comes to this lever, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose being in the vortex. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my centered, grounded self.
You're afraid of it because you do it every time.
I do it every time.
And it's because you want to rework your feeling. In other words, the lovers that have come to you in the past came to you outside the vortex. You have never had a relationship in the vortex.
Never.
All your relationships have happened outside the vortex, and now you're taking all of that stupid belief into the vortex, and the minute you do, spits you right out.
Exactly.
The vortex spits you right out.
Yep.
And so exactly what you're saying is exactly true. You're saying, I so want to be in the vortex, but I do not believe that I can be in the vortex and have a lover.
Right.
So sometimes I want a lover, and sometimes I want to be in the vortex, and sometimes I want a lover, and sometimes I want to be in the vortex. Oh, this is so good.
But I love being in the vortex, so now I'm like, well, forget it. I don't want a lover. I just want to be in the vortex.
But you can have it all. You can have a lover in the vortex.
I want
the lover that you want is someone who's already in the vortex.
Is he here?
That's why. That's why you can't find your lover outside the vortex. In other words, this has been very, very powerful. So now your work is just to practice the feeling of being in the vortex. And you did a really good job of describing how you feel in the vortex. So now, if you want to, make an effort. You might do good at it, you might not, it doesn't matter. Make an effort to get in the vortex and then tiptoe in, ponder a coupling, a relationship in the vortex. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we'd leave the lover out at it first and we'd get back in. So we'll ask those questions again. So tell us about what the vortex is.
The vortex is exciting. It's
a swirling mass of cooperative components. That's what the vortex is. It's a swirling mass of cooperative components of which I am now one. Right. And when I'm in the vortex, I feel
whole, I feel grounded, I feel, again, on top of the world. Everything works for me.
That on top of the world feeling is a particularly good one for you, because on top of the world, that's the way you feel. You're driving down the freeway and you look out and everything is so beautiful and the traffic's flowing and the birds are singing and the good songs on the radio and you're sipping something you like and you just feel on top of the world and you're going someplace you want to be. Ooh, that's that on top of the world feeling. That's what it feels like in the vortex. Right. I feel that way. And now, is my lover coming in? I can bring your lover's
He's already there. He's really, my lover is tuned in, tapped in, turned on.
As are you, because you're on top of the world. You're on top of the world, and now law of attraction, because you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, is bringing you together, and now you're meeting, you're having a conversation. It's happening at Starbucks or somewhere. In other words, you're having this
We're
experience.
At the boathouse, actually, because he's really into boats, and he's very has a hobby, and he's very focused, and he knows what he's doing, and he does his own thing, and I do my own thing.
All right, so now
Then we
as you,
come
as you
together.
see this person, what's the overriding feeling that comes through you?
That this man is whole and capable, and he has his own life.
But so now this is someone that you're rendezvousing with, and you've spotted him, and what does it feel like when you're in the vortex and you meet someone who's aligned? What does that feel like? Does it feel like, oh my God, how do I look?
It feels all swirly and exciting, but then it feels like, oh, he could never like somebody like me. Like all of a sudden, like, oh, that guy's great. Oh, he could never like me.
So that's the thing. So those are the things that you're wanting to work on. Because when you're in the vortex and when you rendezvous with this person who's a vibrational match to you and you a vibrational match to him, it feels like the next logical step. Hi, not hi. How are you? I'm fine. What are you doing? It feels like the next logical step. It's just the most natural thing in the world. In other words, it doesn't feel freakish. It doesn't feel frightening. It doesn't feel more than I can cope with. When you're in the vortex, what's in there equals you, and you equal it. You're cooperative components. There's no reason to feel overwhelmed by it, or there's no reason to feel not enough for it when you're in the vortex, you see. So this is your work. Don't you love this? You've just got to get in there and play that game. So as you're playing the game and you get that feeling and it spits you out, come out and laugh like we've all laughed.
Dust myself off.
Dust yourself off. And then go back in the vortex. And before you know it, you'll be in there in your mind having these conversations. And then next time you turn around, we're talking about a matter of a very short number of days, really. You have a rendezvous with someone and you have that deja vu, very familiar feeling about this, that haven't I been here before? And the answer is yes, you have been there before. You've been there in your vibrational reality. It's where you're familiar, you see. Mm-hmm. That is excellent.
Thank you.